Welcome to our Middle East briefing show. Today, we kick off with a fiery story from East Jerusalem where Israeli police stormed the UNRWA compound, seized property, and replaced the UN flag with the Israeli flag, all over unpaid property taxes. The UN is furious, calling this a violation of international law, while Israel keeps a tense eye on the organization, accusing it of supporting Hamas. Next up, in a heartwarming twist, a cozy Hong Kong-style cafe in Ottawa has just received top recognition. Despite the owner Tarek Hassan having only visited Hong Kong once, his love for Cantonese cuisine shines through in his creative snacks and milk teas. His multicultural background and passion for food have made Gongfu Cafe Bao a beloved spot, blending British colonial influences with local flavors, proof that good food can connect cultures. And finally, a gripping story from Gaza. Ex-hostage Rum Braslavsky has bravely shared his harrowing experience during the October 7 massacre, recounting scenes of violence and torture. His story sheds light on the ongoing trauma faced by survivors and the brutal realities of conflict. It's a stark reminder of the human cost behind the headlines. Please continue watching for more detailed stories and updates. CNN reports a disturbing incident in East Jerusalem where Israeli police forcibly entered the UNRWA compound, a crucial refuge for Palestinian refugees, and replaced the UN flag with the Israeli flag. Philippe Lazzarini, the head of UNRWA, detailed the aggressive operation involving trucks and forklifts that seized property and cut off communications, claiming it was a routine debt collection measure for unpaid property taxes. However, the UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres condemned the breach of international law, emphasizing the compound's inviolability and immunity under the UN Charter. This act underscores Israel's long-standing hostility toward UNRWA, which it accuses of supporting Hamas and calls for dismantling, despite the agency's vital role in providing education, healthcare, and food aid to millions of Palestinians. Israeli officials, including Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's spokesperson, have harshly criticized UNRWA, citing its failures and advocating for its abolition, amidst a backdrop of laws passed to restrict its operations within Israel, reflecting a deepening conflict over the organization's influence and legitimacy in the region. South China Morning Post highlights the remarkable journey of Gongfu Cafe Bao in Ottawa, a cozy eatery inspired by Hong Kong's traditional cha chaan tangs, despite being owned by an Egyptian-Canadian who has only visited Hong Kong once. Tarek Hassan's passion for Cantonese cuisine was ignited by his love for Hong Kong films and the flavors he experienced at London's Lee Ho Fook, the city's first Michelin-starred Chinese restaurant. His fascination led him to learn to cook with a wok, experiment with steamed buns filled with inventive ingredients, and eventually establish a successful food cart in Ottawa. Inspired by his trip to Hong Kong, Hassan incorporated elements of the city's culinary and cultural vibe into his cafe, opting for a design that echoes the familiar, no-frills charm of Hong Kong's cha chaan tangs rather than traditional Chinese motifs. Hassan's approach emphasizes creating a space that feels both authentic and accessible, blending cultural homage with personal innovation, and earning recognition as one of Canada's top Chinese restaurants, a testament to his dedication and deep appreciation for the cuisine that captivated him. Yahoo US features the harrowing recounting of Rum Braslavsky, a former hostage who endured the horrors of captivity in Gaza during the October 7 massacre. Speaking at a conference in Rome hosted by Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni's party, Braslavsky vividly described witnessing the brutal murder of innocent Israelis, including women and children, with blood and chaos everywhere. His testimony revealed the brutal torture inflicted by Palestinian Islamic Jihad terrorists, both mentally and physically, and the lasting trauma experienced by other survivors who remain unable to function after their release. Braslavsky's emotional account, marked by the symbolic yellow hostage pin he wears, representing his pain, underscored the profound human toll of the conflict. Transitioning from a security guard to a survivor bearing scars of unimaginable suffering, he expressed hope for justice and peace, emphasizing the resilience of those who have endured such atrocities. His story serves as a stark reminder of the horrors faced by hostages and the ongoing struggle for recognition and resolution amid ongoing violence. The Independent reports a disturbing incident involving a 30-year-old Floridian, Miles M. McQuaid, who has pleaded guilty to making violent threats against Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, the Somali-American lawmaker known for her outspoken stance and recent rise in death threats. McQuaid, motivated by Omar's political actions and her Somali heritage, posted on social media that he intended to decapitate her and harm her children, explicitly recognizing his threats as genuine and not joking. This case highlights the alarming increase in violent rhetoric targeting public officials, especially amidst the heightened political tensions following remarks from former President Trump, who publicly disparaged Omar and called for her deportation, fueling a climate of hostility and danger. The article underscores the real-world consequences of such toxic language, with law enforcement actively investigating and prosecuting threats, reflecting a broader trend of rising violence and intimidation against American politicians, particularly those from minority backgrounds. Yahoo US details the ongoing military draft extension in Israel, where the Knesset's Foreign Affairs and Defense Committee has authorized the continued conscription of 280,000 reservists until January 1. This decision comes despite the end of active hostilities over 2 months ago, with intermittent low-level fighting persisting in Gaza, Lebanon, and Syria. Defense Minister Israel Katz's recent statement that the number of reservist service days could be reduced from 60 to 40 per soldier hints at a diminishing need for such extensive military mobilization. Meanwhile, internal political debates are intensifying, with Bismuth pushing a new bill that critics argue would entrench exemptions for Haredi Jews from military service, further fueling tensions over the balance between national security and religious freedoms. The extension of the emergency draft amid a seemingly waning threat underscores the complex and contentious security landscape in Israel, where military policy and political interests intersect amid ongoing regional instability. BBC covers the tragic death of a 3-year-old girl, Ahed Tarek al-Bayuk, killed by Israeli forces in Gaza amid ongoing conflict. The child was reportedly playing near her family's tent when she was shot, with Israel's military denying awareness of the strike and promising to review the incident. Since the recent ceasefire in October, Gaza has seen over 370 deaths, including 140 children, with thousands more wounded, highlighting the devastating human toll of the conflict. The situation remains precarious, with international efforts led by Qatar, Turkey, and Egypt seeking to establish a ceasefire extension, disarm Hamas, and create a governing authority in Gaza. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu's rejection of a two-state solution and his assertion that such a move would threaten Israel's existence reflect the deep-rooted disagreements over peace prospects, while the ongoing violence underscores the urgent need for a sustainable resolution amid mounting civilian suffering. The Independent vividly captures the intense fallout between Liverpool star Mohamed Salah and his coach Arne Slot, highlighting Salah's explosive interview where he accused the club of betrayal and hinted that Brighton might be his last game for Liverpool. Carragher, a former Liverpool defender, sharply criticizes Salah, calling his comments a disgrace and accusing him of trying to undermine Slot's authority and the club's stability. Carragher's stance is rooted in his respect for Salah's immense contributions to Liverpool, but he condemns his timing and motives, especially during a period when Liverpool is struggling and in dire need of unity. Carragher emphasizes that Salah's ego and focus on personal achievement have clouded his judgment, especially given the team's poor form, and he criticizes Salah's defensive lapses this season, contrasting his legendary status with his recent behavior, which he views as damaging to the team's cohesion. Meanwhile, Nikkei Asia reports on the broader geopolitical implications of the U.S. resuming nuclear testing, a move that threatens to plunge global security into chaos. Farhan Bakhari details how this decision, the first in over 3 decades, could ignite a new arms race among major powers like Russia and China, who are already armed with nearly 90% of the world's nuclear weapons. The article underscores the dangerous potential for escalation, including the possible development of dirty bombs and the erosion of the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, NPT, which has long sought to curb nuclear proliferation. The revival of nuclear testing also stirs fears of a shift in Japan's long-standing policy of non-nuclear principles, hinting at a future where American nuclear weapons could be deployed on Japanese soil in response to regional threats. The piece paints a stark picture of a world teetering on the edge of a renewed nuclear arms race, with technological advancements like AI and modern missile systems amplifying the threat. The Independent further explores the uncertain future of Mohamed Salah at Liverpool, with Arne Slot admitting he has no clue if Salah will play again for the club after his outspoken criticism. Slot's decision to bench Salah, who had only recently signed a record-breaking contract, was a strategic move to maintain team discipline amid Liverpool's struggles, but it also sparked controversy. Slot insists his authority remains intact and hints that Salah's departure is not imminent, although the player's own comments suggest otherwise. The coach describes the conversation with Salah as brief and emphasizes that the club's decision was made with the player's best interests in mind, aiming to restore team harmony. Despite Salah's legendary status and recent achievements, the article depicts a tense atmosphere where a star player's ego and outspoken nature threaten to overshadow his contributions, leaving his future at Liverpool uncertain as the club grapples with a difficult season. Australian Broadcasting Corporation reports that a small contingent of members from an Israeli-supported anti-Hamas militia in Gaza has voluntarily surrendered to Hamas, following the killing of their leader, Yasser Abu Shabab, who was shot during a mediation attempt amid internal clashes. Hamas accused Abu Shabab of being an Israeli collaborator and issued a deadline for other members to surrender or face similar consequences. The surrender involved 8 fighters, supported by clan alliances, and was seen as a sign of internal dissent against Hamas's rule, which Israeli authorities had covertly backed to weaken Hamas's grip. Abu Shabab's second-in-command, Ghassan al-Duhin, has taken over leadership, and the group vowed to continue their mission of resisting Hamas, with Abu Shabab's wife emphasizing that his weapons were for defense, not aggression. Despite the surrender, the group remains active, operating near Rafah, with Israeli officials hinting at their covert support for such militias, framing their actions as part of a broader Palestinian struggle to escape Hamas's tyranny. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.
Empty smiles, their words misleading. Power games in darkened rooms. Spin their lies to seal our doom. Oh, oh, oh. Turn on the screen, monster screaming. Empty smiles, their words misleading. Lost in power's arc. Leaders laugh while we cry. Change the rules, make us